Hi, everyone. Late good afternoon and an early good evening to all of you. Thank you so much for your time to join us for this fireside chat. So presenting to you the next in our series of Meet with Digital Thinkers, a series where we have been showcasing stories of digital leaders transforming businesses using technology. As businesses navigate through the uncertainty today, maintaining business continuity is really the key. And one major factor that really determines business continuity, ensuring business continuity amidst this uncertainty, is collaboration. And today, more than ever, the need for collaboration is crucial to ensure zero disruption to business. However, as organizations undergo growth and expansion, managing collaboration between a large and a geographically dispersed workforce can be a huge roadblock, so thus impacting productivity and efficiency. Legacy systems are unable to support the expectations around speed, agility, and flexibility that today's collaborative environments require. And the COVID-19 pandemic has proven the inadequacy of the legacy systems, as businesses were required to manage the entire workforce to work remotely. So what can really help businesses push the boundaries of collaboration around performance to empower business transformation is cloud. And today, we want to bring to you the story of the Live Buildcon Limited, one of India's leading infrastructure companies, instrumental in building national-level mission-critical infrastructure such as roads and highways, railways, dams, and bridges, and how the company is leveraging G Suite to enable teams across 32 departments communicate and collaborate effectively in real time. And to talk about how cloud has helped Dilip Buildcon collaborate better and faster, I have with me Mr. Sandeep Pote, Head IT Dilip Buildcon Limited. Mr. Pote has over 24 years of experience in the industry, and he is with us to talk about the cloud journey of the company. So welcome, Mr. Pote.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yes, we can hear you. How are you doing, sir?
It's good.
Great. Good. So thank you so much for taking out time to join us. Can I request you to switch on your camera also, please?
Sure.
Yeah. Great. Thank you. So thank you so much for joining us for this session today. I want to start off by asking about, the company itself. If you can just briefly give us a glimpse into the Live Buildcon's journey of evolution. We started from really humble beginnings in 1987 to becoming one of India's leading infrastructure companies today. And you have been working on some major infrastructure projects which are of critical nature for the country. So if you can tell us more about the journey of growth and evolution.
Yes. So I want to tell you about the journey that DBL is starting from a garage of a house in 1987 to becoming one of the topmost infrastructure companies of India. The journey is indeed very interesting. It is due to the efforts and hard work of our MD, Mr. Dilip Suryavanshi. So, due to his vision, the DBL is become India's leading infrastructure company in the coming years. So, to achieve this vision, there were three focus areas that I need to highlight to you that DBL has been moving forward with and working on. So I would like to elaborate on these three areas. So first area is to develop and build India. This is a very crucial vision. So DBL primary focus is to cater the public sector projects of central governments only. So it's a diversified throughout the country, and at present we have a presence in overall 23 states in the country out of 27, and we have 65 locations with 32 departments. So this is a diversification of geography. Second diversification in this journey is the business segments. Apart from roads and highways, we are having projects of construction like, as you say, dams, special type of bridges, tunnels, coal minings, metro rails, airports, and recently we are in a hotel project. So further to make ourselves self-dependent in various areas and align the backward integration, we developed an equipment bank to reduce the running cost and dependencies over local vendors and contractors to cater our daily needs of vehicles at each project location site. So this is a major thing. So at present, we own around 11,000 fleets, which is the largest in any construction industry in India. So this just help us to achieve our goal and to empower and develop India's infrastructure. So second thing, that scanning and exploration of the project. So before bidding or initiating any project, we do a thorough inspection of the location, which adds in developing feasible plans for an early or timely completion of the project. So DBL not just focuses on selection, but catering durable and sustainable developments on our infrastructure. So this is a crucial one. Third thing is that innovative mindset of our management. Means management believes in continuous R&D and to adopt innovative ideas to keep improving on their daily business processes and efficient utilization of resources. So this is again major part. So with continuous improvement, we are trying and keeping ourselves on par with any technical development in the market, in the core field, or any area that we as a team think to improve. So now, for instance, we have enabled GPS monitoring tracking system for our almost 11,000 fleets. So which will help us to effectively use each fleet in terms of time and availability from a centralized single location. So we have a centralized tracking system overall. So this is the glimpse of the journey.
Yeah, great. So from what I understand, starting from 1987 to now 2020, the company has undergone massive growth and expansion, and the kind of numbers that you have been talking and the kind of projects that you spoke about that you're doing, that requires a lot of agility, a lot of speed and flexibility to be able to meet the requirements of your business. So how critical are these aspects of speed, agility, and flexibility, and how has the move to cloud applications like G Suite helped you support that?
Of course. It is very critical for us to be fast moving as the kind of business we are in. So we cannot have slow pace in terms of project completion as with our track record of completing projects on times. So 95% projects what we are catering is completed before time. So considering the business, we are not based out of one location. Though Bhopal is our HO, I am sitting at Bhopal. So the projects can take teams to different locations. So these all are remote locations of India. So the speed, agility, and flexibility will help in this scenario. Yeah, Shipra?
What you're speaking about, if you can give us some real life examples, in terms of improvements that you have seen on some of the key business metrics since the transition to cloud. Some examples would really help,
Yeah, okay, absolutely. There have been improvement in different areas and processes with increased automation on various fronts. I will start with a fundamental example. not in this. So the powerful search that G Suite offers has really made searching unchallenging. So for all of us who is working in DBL. So as we had been struggling with this at all levels previously, because previously searching is not so good. So further, with Gmail, it is possible to create local group IDs. So as it has helped us to share information in one go with different stakeholders on same time. So next thing is the automation that we have enabled for the purchase department. So for purchase department, in terms of collecting information via forms from different vendors. So it's a powerful example because purchase teams starts to use this G Suite forms. And because of this, it saves time, which has led the purchase team to be more efficient and can focus on other areas efficiently. So apart from this, we have seen changes in our transactional process in almost every section because now there is realization on how you can uncomplicate your work. It's ease of work. So these are the some fundamental examples.
Right. Yeah. I really like what you said about uncomplicating work and ease of work. I think that is really crucial when it comes to employee productivity and efficiency. So like you said, yes, really powerful examples. But I want to bring about another aspect here. So while you have seen these improvements in terms of business metrics, what we usually see with collaboration is a fundamental shift, a fundamental change in the culture. So what kind of cultural change has the induction of G Suite brought about in the organization?
There is surely a shift. As it previously, we have been used to a format of doing meetings in a conference room. So to finalize any document and to have words with all the department stakeholders and department heads and the team. So whereas it's easy to collaborate within a few seconds with G Suite. So and it's something that people are understanding by themselves that this is a very easy with putting some few clicks, they are able to collaborate. So it's possible to collaborate on a document in a click only, rather than adding the cost and times over non-productive tasks and activities which held during the meeting in a conference room. So by this, I definitely do not mean that we have to remove the physical presence, but of course, the current scenario definitely requires that. Okay.
Right. Yeah. And the cultural change is something that is an ongoing process, and it's a journey. And of course, the culture of collaboration has already been brought into the organization, and it's only going to just strengthen further. So one thing I want to know is that, about the implementation. Now, you mentioned that you have around 32 departments and you have a huge workforce. If I'm not wrong, you have a workforce about 32,000 across the country. And again, very geographically spread workforce across different states. So how did you ensure seamless implementation of G Suite across 32 departments and such a huge workforce across the country? What was it a challenge, and how did you manage such seamless implementation?
Yeah, it's very challenging. It's with our first trial that did not work out very well. So, which made us apprehensive in the start of the project. Because of this, we as a team, means TCPL and DBL team, IT team, so they took extra caution to finalize the process. Means we adopted the phase-wise plan and very particularly did the profiling on the basis of two parameters. So these parameters are that first we have to concentrate department wise, and second is location wise. So we had this process of reaching out to 2 to 3 departments per location per week, and then making them live, training them, proving the Google Guide support to them. So this stretched our timeline a bit for smooth adoption and transition with legacy data of around 4 TB. So I think the TCPL team has been supportive and led the overall project to completion and adoption on scheduled dates with zero downtime. So it's really appreciable. So on the project, as you rightly said, there is a lot of activities, tasks to take into consideration for adoption part. So these tasks that Google Guides are there, training sessions are there for each and every department. We conducted training session, awareness campaign. So these points really did the trick in adoption part. Yeah.
So yeah, of course. I mean, so the things that you mentioned about how you enabled seamless adoption, I think this will be a good learning point for a lot of organizations who sometimes struggle with implementing a cloud collaboration solution across a huge workforce and across a geographically spread workforce. So my last question is, you mentioned when you were talking about cultural change, you mentioned about especially in today's time why collaboration is important. So, all focus for businesses today is actually pivoted around ensuring business continuity amidst the uncertainty that has been created by the COVID-19 pandemic. And communication and collaboration in real time are the key to ensure business continuity. So how has G Suite enabled your teams to ensure business continuity during this time, as well as how do you think it's going to be helpful in terms of fast recovery and growth going forward?
These are the situations that we have never faced or even talked about. So it has always been in the air, although remained unnoticed. But having said that, organizations who have been on an innovative mindset would have surely been able to cope up with this, right? So in our case, we began our cloud journey long back by initiating SAP implementation. We are on cloud on this SAP ERP front also. So all our major module like financing, controlling, material management, sales and distribution, production planning, HR, payroll, because we have a 32,000 manpower. So HR payroll is a major, and analytical dashboards are also there. And then this G Suites for connectivity and collaboration. So certainly our preparedness on cloud help us to maintain a continuity in these unprecedented times that the world is facing now. So this G Suites helps us.
Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Pote, for taking us through the cloud journey and how it helped in collaborating a massive workforce and fleet, speeding up decision making and improving employee productivity. Also, what is really interesting is that for an organization like yours, using G Suite to help the design teams collaborate effectively on heavy design files, that can be a good case study for a lot of infrastructure and heavy engineering companies, where there's a lot of design work that goes in. So thank you so much once again, and I will come back to you. So I just want to bring in Jatin here.
Okay. Thank you, Shikha.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shikha.
So the chat, with Mr. Pote has reaffirmed that cloud is really a key pillar in organizations' transformation journey. However, it's important in this journey to have the right partner to ensure that your journey is optimized and the results that you have set out to achieve with cloud are maximized. And therefore, it's important to hear the perspective of the partner. And to bring that perspective, I would now like to invite Jatin Sawhney, Director Team Digital Engineering, Team Computers. Jatin has over 23 years of experience in the industry and is part of the core management at Team Computers. So welcome, Jatin.
Thanks, Shubhra.
Great. So, Jatin, we heard Mr. Pote talk about his cloud journey from the perspective of a customer. Now I want to ask you, as Team Computers was involved in the implementation of this particular project. Now, from a partner's perspective, can you tell us something about this project? Some interesting aspects, highlights, data points.
Sure. So, first of all, good afternoon to all the audience over here, and I would like to thank Sandeep sir over here for really kind words, and I could understand the challenges. There are some growth challenges for every organization, and it has been a huge journey for them from 1987 till 2020, and moving from legacy systems to moving into modern technologies. I think that itself is a big step forward. So there were two major aspects of these projects, which DBL was primarily looking at from Google side, from a technology G Suite. One was looking at how would we take care of the entire migration of the entire user data, which is primarily on-prem. In the legacy, they were using IBM Lotus Notes, and how do we migrate that entire data to Google Cloud? That's one. Second was looking at the change management, and I have seen this is one of the key area where every customer faces, because you have a different way of looking at your email systems and other applications, and you have to now get into a new world of collaboration. Now, how do users embrace those changes? And that was a critical ask from DBL, and this was the two areas where this project was really centered around.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Thanks for taking us through those interesting aspects. What were the unique challenges that Team Computers faced for this project? I mean, do you see? You said that yes, companies do face challenges, but some of the challenges are common for all companies, and some challenges are unique to each company. So, in this case, what were the specific challenges, both common as well as unique, that came across?
Yeah, first of all, thanks to IBM for giving us those challenges and bringing in a kind of a system which is very closed architecture and not scalable and not open for integrating other environments. And with IBM Lotus Notes, the typical problem was, the migration of the user data to the cloud, to Google Cloud. There was no direct APIs through which you can pull the data. Typically, what happens is when in every email system, if you know, there are emails in inbox and there are emails in your sent items. So while you are able to migrate the inbox, but the sent items doesn't go, and it requires a very manual activity. And thanks to Sandeep sir, the entire IT team, for all the support that they provided us, along with our team, jointly work together, and we were able to migrate all the users, more than 2,000 users, data. It took a little bit of a time because it was more of a manual activity, but our one of the objective was zero downtime, number one, and number two was ensuring there is no data loss while you are migrating the data, and that the team from both the sides, they were working day in day out, ensuring that these objectives are met, and migrated all the data from IBM Lotus Notes to G Suite.
Mm-hmm. Great. So, what were the expectations of the LibBuildCon from a partner like you? And do you think that you were able to achieve them, and to what extent?
First of all, thanks to Sandeep sir. I think he has also reiterated that part. The expectations from any partner was from us was like number one was migrating the entire data. Second was ensuring the user adoption goes up. And so while we were able to migrate the entire data from the legacies Lotus Notes environment to Google to G Suite without any loss of data, and it took a few weeks for us. It was not matter of days, which normally any customer would expect that my data should get migrated in a matter of days, but it took some weeks for us to really migrate because that was a manual activity that was involved. And number two was how do we embrace the collaboration and the change management? That was one of the key tasks. So while we did a lot of trainings, we did a lot of handholding. There was users was spread across various locations. A lot of activities been done. However, it still takes time for user to embrace those new world of collaboration. For instance, while you use on a Microsoft Excel or you use a Word, typically I write an email. I write a document and email as an attachment. But what happens in G Suite, you don't send as an attachment. You rather share it, and so you have only one copy, and then multiple people it's shared to multiple people to come on the same document and do the changes real time. So you have one version of truth floating all around. Now, while it sounds very easy, but it takes time for user to really embrace these kind of changes. We have recently seen in one of the department in finance, people have just started using those Google Docs and collaborating with each other and sharing those documents. And these things are now going around other departments as well. So this takes time, but this is something which was expected from DBL. And number three was, for example, we are like currently doing a Hangout chat and on a Google Meet, and how can we bring everybody inside the organization to leverage these kind of a platform? So one, you are using email, which is a Gmail system, but apart from that, how can you leverage Google Meet? And I just heard Sandeep sir saying that they have automated the entire procurement process by using Google Forms. Now, I can tell you this is a damn easy stuff with Google Forms, and it can be leveraged. For example, in my society where I live, everybody uses Google Form for doing some survey or collecting some information of the people around, and it's just a minute of, like just few clicks, you create a form, and then you just start going. So making people aware of such tools available in Google, and how do you collaborate between such tools? And it gives you one window. For example, I have opened a document or made a document on my Google Drive, but I can access it through my mobile as well. I don't need to log into the same laptop or same device, but I can go to a different device, log into my instance, and the entire information comes to me. Now, this kind of an experience was not earlier there with DBL users. So it was more of a training and handholding, and that was expected from us, and we did that over the period of time, and still continuing doing it wherever is required. Where some users really want to come out and ask for कि ये नहीं हो रहा है या वो नहीं हो रहा है, and we kind of look at give those kind of tips and tricks and give those expert helps. This is something that's happening around.
So, from what I can see, the role of a partner is very critical in hand-holding right from the start of the project, the implementation, right through to adoption of cloud within the organization. It doesn't just end at the implementation stage. So, while you have given us a glimpse into how DBL, proceeded with their cloud journey and how you help them there. Can you give us a more generic view of the role of a partner and how a partner like Team Computer comes into the picture, and what kind of expertise that you bring in for organizations when it comes to their adoption of cloud? So I'll hand it over to you, Jatin, to take it forward from here.
Sure. I will present just one presentation on it.
Sure.
Just a second. Let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, it's visible.
Great. So at Team, our mantra is to serve with love and connect with customers, with the actual end users, and help them, in various areas where they need help. So one is the three areas we broadly operate upon. One is think, the build, and the operate. I'm going to touch upon all these three. As an organization, we have pan-India operations with a 30% of growth rate year on year, and this year we have just touched upon 1,200 crores, and we are aiming to touch 1,600 crores. Because of this pandemic, there was a little bit of a drop, but I believe we should have we aim for 2,000, but given the current situations and all that, I think we should be touching 1,600, and we are currently going at that run rate. Close to around 2,500 customers across various segments, be it enterprise, mid-market, or government and PSUs, with 3,000 members across the organizations. And across all the areas where we are operating, we have these members operating pan-India. On the think part of it, there are two areas where customers would really look at it. One, they want to make better decisions to improve their productivity. Second, they want to look at how do they make their operations efficient. And so data comes into the play here, and data becomes a key source through which all these things can be achieved. So we help our customers engage deeper, engage in their think tank, and look at providing analytics at one end, but also look at providing other areas which can help them bring their operations more efficiencies. For example, robotic process automations and office collaborative suites, we're talking about with G suites, and bring a lot of collaborations around the users. Big data is one area where we are engaging with our customers. Today it's in big demand. Everybody is talking about how do we bring all the data in one place and enable the end users to take informed decisions. So this is the area where team and partner with all the industry leaders which are there in the market, which basically every organization today, if you look at, they either have started their digital journey or they are thinking to start their digital transformation. So we are engaging with our customers and partnering with them in that digital transformation. So all these technologies which are there in the market, which can help them transform from moving from their legacy systems to the digital platforms, team is there for them. The other area is helping customers build the entire infrastructure. So one is the end user devices with desktops, laptops, and printers. Other is looking at data center, both on-prem, on cloud, and wrapping around, with security and storage and networking, and making sure this entire infrastructure is available all the time. Again, partner with all the industry leaders and bridging the gap of the needs of the customer and what the solutions which are available in the market. How do we bridge? So we basically come in and ensure that this gap is narrowed down. Obviously, whatever the infrastructure has been built, we want it should run, and it should run all the time. So these are the facilities. We have one in Bangalore, we have one in Gurgaon, where we are monitoring our customers' data centers 24/7 and providing AMC support, facility management services, break fix supports, managed print services, and also providing resources around to ensure the entire infrastructure is up and running for our customers. Our partnership with Google, I really feel proud in sharing this. Our partnership with Google has been like over 10 years, and it started up in 2007, or more than 10 years, in fact. I still remember our first installation that we did with India Infoline at that time, where we moved almost close to 20,000 users. And in those days, G Suite was called G Apps, and people were using Google, but it was more on the personal use, which is gmail.com, and people were not aware of. Uh, it was coming as a surprise for most of the customers that does Google have any enterprise solution as well? And for us, it went a lot of education for the customers to tell them, yes, Google has come out with an enterprise solution called G Apps, or now called G Suite, which basically not just providing Gmail for the personal use, but it is not Gmail for enterprise. And our first customer, we started the journey with India Infoline back on those days. We migrated all their 20,000 users, and today our happy more than 3 lakh customers, 3 lakh users, in fact, are on this platform with over 700 customers. And I take pride in sharing some of the complex environment, including DBL, where and other customers, where migrating the data from the legacy systems to cloud. We have done. I really feel proud of my team, where they have done fantastic work in working day in, day out, in migrating those data without any loss of data, in fact. And other aspect of this partnership has been enabling the end users with their collaboration needs, and that brings our change management team. So we have our dedicated customer success team, which basically works with our customers to ensure that whatever they have adopted, it's in use, it's getting consumed, and people are leveraging each and every tool of G Suite to enhance their operations efficiencies and improve their productivity. On the G Suite part, it's just not G Suite, because there are other areas like Google Cloud Platform, which is GCP, where we are helping our customers to move their entire infrastructure from on-prem, on-cloud, which is infrastructure as a service, and also analytics on the cloud, leveraging the Google platform as a whole. Chromebook, it's picking up very fast. It's another kind of a device which basically, it's a kind of a thin client. You can have a Chrome as an OS, and simply use, instead of using Windows or a Mac laptops, you can have Chromebook enabled laptops. One of the things which I just learned recent past, that you can have your old legacy laptops, which people, after 3 years or 4 years, you kind of remove it, replace it with the new ones. The old laptops, you can replace it with Chromebook by just installing the Chrome OS, and the system is up and running for that. So a lot of things can be done around that as well. I'll play a small video on how basically G Suite helps customers to really collaborate. I really love this video.
G Suite reimagines the way teams collaborate, so your business has the tools it needs to create its best work together faster. Here's one example. Sammy forgot her Pixel book on her kitchen counter this morning. But luckily for her, she's able to grab a loaner Chromebook and log in instantly with her 2-factor authentication security key. Organizations like Sammy's that use these keys have reported 0 account hijackings. Hangouts chat makes it easy for Sammy to collaborate with her team. 2 days? That's crazy! Sammy's team can share docs, sheets, and slide presentations right in the chat room, and the correct permissions are added automatically. In Slides, it's simple for Sammy's team to collaborate in real time, and they know exactly what next steps are because comments and action items can be assigned to specific owners. Julie needs Sammy to look up some information. With Cloud Search, Sammy can use the same technology that powers Google Search to quickly find the data and documents she needs across G Suite and the tools her company uses most, like Salesforce. Sammy's team can work together in Sheets in real time, making sure the data is always up to date. No one gets a workbook is locked warning. And just like docs or slides, Sheets lets you make comments to other collaborators or create trackable action items. With Explore in Sheets, Sammy can find insights in her data by asking questions in plain English, like, what is the average revenue per region? Sheets uses natural language processing to understand Sammy's request and give her the answers she needs instantly. Ah, there's the number Julie was asking about. Some topics are best discussed face-to-face, but setting up meetings takes time Sammy just doesn't have under her tight deadline. In Google Calendar, smart suggestions take the headache out of scheduling. Calendar suggests meeting times that work for everyone. It even recognizes time zones and work blocks, like how Rosa is in Madrid and Nick is in New York. And when it's time to meet, Sammy joins Hangouts Meet right from Calendar. Her teammates can also join from a phone or outside domains. Plus, it's easy to present materials like documents, or even a Jamboard session. While presenting, Sammy can continue working in real time. Sammy can even type a phrase like, Julie to follow up on this, and Google will leverage the power of natural language processing to create an action item. It even knows which Julie to assign it to. And when Sammy needs to send an email, Gmail's Smart Compose can offer suggestions as she types, saving valuable time. G Suite takes security seriously. To manage sensitive email communications, Sammy uses confidential mode in Gmail. This lets her put restrictions on messages, so they can't be forwarded, copied, downloaded, or printed. Okay, Sammy sent the email. And naturally, she goes back to chat, where this all started. Finding a time that works for everyone isn't easy. But with the Meet bot, Sammy can enter a simple command with the names of the attendees, and Meet will figure out who they are and when they're available. Whether it's an urgent exec request or an everyday project, G Suite can help reimagine work for enterprise companies like yours.
Just a sec. Yeah. So really super cool. I remember a few years ago.
Jatin, we can't hear you.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Now it's fine.
Okay, sorry. So I was just saying, Shupra, while I always get excited about seeing such videos and all that, because now it's very obvious and people think ye to hota hi hai. But I remember in 2010, 2011 when such things you were talking about with Google about such collaborations and all that. I remember my word saying, "Arey, aisa thodi na hota hai. How can you do that?" We have never experienced this of collaborating real time on documents like Excel sheets and Word documents. Now with Google Docs, with Google Sheets and Google Docs, it's all quite possible. And not just the Google Docs, but now you can integrate the docs with your Hangouts, with your tasks, with your chats, with your email. Everything is in one window in one place, and it so seamlessly get integrated with each other. I totally, I've actually experienced it. The efficiency and the productivity of me as individual and also of my team, how it has gone up. So while G Suite, it is just not. Most of the people thinks that it's a Gmail solution, but it's way beyond what G Suite has to offer. And so we have tools with Gmail and Calendar and Chat and Hangouts for communication, but you also have a lot of things for collaborating. And you can have Google Docs, Google Keep, photos. And I'm sure all of us would be using Google Photos for our personal use, where you want to search anything on your photos, but just typing any word, type a name of a building, type a name of a place, you just get it. And this something is also helping enterprises also to leverage Google Photos for where most of the media companies, most of their digital companies, there are a lot of photos and everything are there. They're leveraging Google Photos as a platform. Obviously, with all built-in security, and compliances in place. So there are entire you can have manage the identity, you can secure the user, they secure the data, you can restrict the various user profiles, do the geofencing if you want to do that, and it meets all compliances and regulatory needs of the organization. So most of the people thinks it is not there in the financial world. It's only for manufacturing companies, or but even banks have leveraged G Suite, and all the financial service sector, they have leveraged. Insurance companies, they have leveraged G Suite. So it's no more of a restriction in terms of G Suite is today addressing all the compliance needs and the regulatory needs of the organization. Some of the case studies we take pride in sharing this. DBL always has been our great journey while we've been partnering with them right now in this panel. DTDC is another case where we have done a record migration of, or I would say the record go live of G Suite in just 9 days, and migrated more than 60 terabytes of data from Office 365 to G Suite. And there are a lot of other challenges, and we could take help of DTDC internal IT teams, thanks to Mr. Mrinal, and migrated all those users from Office to Google, and in just 9 days. Another was Kunj Lloyd, another very complex environment. So whenever there is an IBM Lotus Notes comes in, it's really complex. And like I shared with the help of DBL IT team, there are a lot of challenges that we faced from IBM Lotus Notes because of its closed architecture. With the help of their team, we could able to migrate. Similar experience we had from other companies where we have worked, and they have a very similar environment. Kunj Lloyd was one of them, where we have to migrate from Lotus Notes. So we just not migrated their email, but we also migrated the applications which were developed on Lotus Notes, and we migrated to the Google App Engine. Danny Bhaskar, we all know, and they're also we have migrated more than 10,000 users, and they have adopted this technology, and they're really embracing it. We have various other challenges in this environment. They have various other systems, not just Lotus Notes, but they have other legacy environments where it was to be migrated. And one of the other challenges was the change management. How do we move users from what they were using earlier, and how do we make them use the Gmail interface so that they can collaborate better? And so our customer success teams engaged with them, and today, after I think they have been using for more than 4 or 5 years now. Other success stories that we have, as I shared with IFL, today the user count is really low. There is around 12,000, but back in 2008, 2009, when we started up with them, they were like 20,000 users, where we migrated from Exchange and Netcore. And then Britannia, another customer, where they have using IBM Lotus Notes. Then we have Delhi Buildcon, we're anyway talking about it. We have Hero and Kunj Lloyd, other customers like Engine Broking, another financial service sector. So it's no-brainer, and what we have experienced with these success stories over past many years, migrating more than 3.5 lakh users now, what we have experienced is, be it any legacy environment that you have today, it can be an Exchange environment, or maybe a Netcore or an IBM Lotus Notes, or maybe any other cloud platform that you're using it, to migrate from that system to G Suite is no-brainer for us. We expertise in each and every environment. We have the experience for. More customer success stories. Even airlines like SpiceJet, they are using. They have leveraged G Suite a lot. Companies like Make My Trip, all these companies, I think it's well versed in the Indian market. Everybody knows about them, what they do, and they are happy customers of G Suite. And we are glad as a partner that we have partnered with them in this journey in helping them improve their operational efficiencies and help them improve their productivity as well. So with this, I would like to end my presentation. Thank you very much, and I would like to take any questions if any.
Yeah. Thanks, Jatin. So yes, in fact, while you were presenting, we did have a few questions. You mentioned geofencing as one of the features. So there's a question around that. That does G Suite support geofencing or IP-based access restrictions for services? While you did mention that, if you can elaborate a little bit more on that.
Yes, Google G Suite supports the geofencing and the IP-based access restrictions that you can build it around your services. So you can restrict the user devices based on the IP addresses. You can restrict the users based on while traveling across various geographies and all that. You can build those around geofencing. So G Suite provides that console where it can be managed very easily.
Right. So there's another question around Google Meet. So the question is that, does Google Meet support recording and broadcasting features? I believe, yes, of course, Google Meet has become a kind of a staple, especially in the last few months. So if you can tell us about the recording and broadcasting features.
The Google Meet recording is just click of a button, and it just sets recording. The recording goes to your Google Drive, where you can access it anytime. You can share it with anyone you want to. Plus, you can bring more than around, I think, up to 250 users at any given point in time. Plus, you can have the live streams coming in, which more than 100,000 people can come in at the same time, and they can have an access to. A couple of months back, I remember, my kids' school, they were facing a lot of challenge, and every time, because the online classes have started up, and every time, so they started with Zoom, and after a week's time, they came out with Teams. After a week's time, they were coming with something else. So I called them, what are you doing? Every time you are coming with some of the other video conferencing solution. What's the problem? They said, everything we want a lot of things, but everything is not been provided by each solution. There's something which is provided by Zoom, there's something which is provided by Teams, but what we want is not in one solution. And I just asked them, what are that you're looking at? And I proposed them, why don't you leverage Google Classroom? It's damn easy, and then you can just use it, and I can help you set it up. And I'm not a techie guy, but trust me, I was able to help them set up the entire Google Meet and Google Classroom setup for them, and it was like a click of a button. I got a feedback from them last week, and they said, we are done. Everything what we want, we are able to get from Google Meet. Users are enjoying, the students are actually enjoying. It's very friendly. You can access it from mobile. It's all there.
And to the same extent, of course, to the enterprises as well.
Yes, the same environment. There is no difference what you provide to education or what you provide to enterprises is all same.
Great. Thank you so much, Jatin. So, Mr. Pote, thank you so much for your time. We would like to now conclude this session, as we are almost on time. Thank you, Mr. Pote, for giving us a candid glimpse into your cloud journey, and it was indeed a pleasure talking to you. And I hope all the audience will take back a lot of key lessons from your journey to implement in their organization. So thank you so much once again, and thank you, Jatin. Thank you,
Shipra. Thank you, Jatin. Thank you, all of you.
And thank you to all the delegates, the audience, for joining us for this session. I hope you had a fruitful session, and I wish everyone a happy weekend, a great weekend at home. Stay safe. Thank you so much once again, and bye-bye.
Thank you, Shipra. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.